World Champion, Hangman Adam Page. It's weird, this is media, there's not like a big crowd to cheer and yell. Yeah, hey guys, what's up?
Hangman, congratulations on your huge win. Now, pro wrestling is all about moments. You had a moment as being the world champion. What does this moment mean to you as you're in this point in your career?
This means everything, man. This is, now I'm gonna cry. Man, this is everything I've worked for my whole life. Shit. I've just put so much of myself into this, in ways that were tough, very tough, but ultimately very cathartic. And to hear people just losing their shit for it, man, you just can't pay for therapy like that. This is one of the biggest moments of my life. Genuinely.
Paige, congratulations again. How significant is for you to win that belt over Kenny Omega?
The best wrestler in the world, and I beat him. There's nothing that could be more special. I've known Kenny for so long. I've looked up to Kenny. I mean, probably even before I started wrestling, I was watching clips of Kenny on YouTube. I remember the first time I saw Kenny was, the Falls Count Anywhere or whatever match outdoors where he takes a hurricane run and rolls down the hill or whatever. I saw that as a kid almost, and somehow I ended up befriending him, and for a long time one of my best friends, and now bitter rivals. But to finally vanquish the person I've always thought was the best wrestler in the world, it feels surreal. It hasn't set in, I guess.
Adam, what do you hope to bring to AEW as AEW World Champion? What do you hope your reign signifies in the history of AEW?
Cowboy shit. I don't know. It's so tough. This has just happened for me, so it's very hard to get my thoughts together. And I'm sorry for a lot of these questions. I don't have very clear answers, but I have a feeling I will be up all night. I have a feeling I will text my media guy and I'll put out a little press release like I do sometimes.
Adam, this was the culmination of a story that was told over the course of almost 3 years. You don't see that kind of love and care put into a lot of stories in pro wrestling these days, so to be on the receiving end of that, how special is that for you, and what was it like being part of that journey?
This is why I've always loved wrestling, you got sometimes glimmers of the person who you were watching on your TV, but it seemed like a lot of times you never really got that full person. And for a long time, I had a hard time figuring out what it was about me that stood out, what it was about me that was going to get me somewhere, how I was going to find success. And I finally just figured, screw it, I'll just be me. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, I was honest. So I guess I came by it honest. And it's been an incredible ride, and it's been the privilege of my life.
Adam, a lot of people thought this might have happened a couple months sooner, but you had some pretty fortunate things that happened in your life that might have prevented that. And when you came back, you mentioned that and got an incredible ovation for it. How was that for you to hear that maybe it wasn't your time a couple months ago, but the fans not only were okay with it, they loved it because you were doing what you wanted to do?
I don't want to share, but so much personal information. But my wife and I, we've been together for a long time, and then, I was in Bullet Club, I was on a hot run, I was traveling to Japan. So then you wonder, if you want to start a family, is now the time? Well, no, because I'm busy. And then AEW started, and then I thought, well, I might win this championship on the first go around, so is now the right time? No, I'm busy. And then we came by the answer that there's never a right time. There never will be. So we were ready to start a family. And I'm very fortunate and very thankful for Tony for, letting me literally, right in the middle of what felt like the hottest run of my career to go back home and take some time and be at home. And I ended up staying at home a little bit longer than I intended to. And I'm just extremely grateful for the opportunity to do that, because wrestling doesn't work that way most times. I was extremely fortunate to be able to be home and be there for that and spend time with my son and my wife. Yeah, unreal.
Congrats on that, brother.
Thank you.
And you gave a great relatable promo afterwards talking about self-doubt and lying to yourself. It seemed very laid bare and real. Is that something that has been on you, and how have you helped yourself get over that hump?
Yeah, I mean, I've told you everything that I've said is just me. I figured a long time ago, fuck it, I'll just say what I feel. I'll just be me. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it does, I came by it honest. And every bit of it, and even after the match, I thought all day, if I win this thing, I'm going to pour tears everywhere. I'm just going to lose it. And it didn't come. I couldn't believe it. So that was a lie to myself. And I told myself a lot of lies. And there's a small part of me that even going into the night was saying that I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be good enough. The match wouldn't be good enough. You know, I wasn't going to be a champion. A small part, but I've managed to shrink that part. And I don't think that goes away, probably. But you can minimize it, and that's very, very real for me. Yeah.
If there's one thing we know about wrestling, is that plans change. This was a really long story. What were some of the challenges to keeping the story on track to get it told the way you wanted?
Oh my God, everything. Everything. Oh man. We in 2020 had a global pandemic. That was a thing. We lost our crowds. We lost, guys were out with injuries and this and that. I had a baby. There was, oh my God, there's just so many things. I couldn't even count them all. If you had known what we may have wanted to do 2 or 3 years ago, it wouldn't even remotely match up to where we are today. But that is, to me, the brilliance of wrestling. You just roll with the punches. Every Wednesday would be something new. Oh my God, what are we going to do about this? And I'm sure it will be Wednesday as well. So, and we have an incredible team that's able to make that work. And I think a lot of it is because we put a lot of ourselves into this. When we get there Wednesday and something's going wrong or whatever, we figure it out. And we just tell you how we feel about it.
Adam, how are you going to approach your job differently showing up Wednesday for Dynamite as champion? A lot of people who don't understand wrestling don't understand that is more than just the belt. It has to do with carrying the company behind the scenes and representing it.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I haven't gotten that far in my mind. I'm just going to try to be the best version of me that I can. That's all I've been doing this whole time. And I'm sure that every day I'll figure out a new problem and try to rise to the challenge. I'll just be the best me that I can. That's really what I want to be today.
Adam, it looked like after the match you said something to Kenny as he was laying on the mat. Do you mind telling us what that was?
No, I wouldn't.
Next up is Brian Danielson. Thoughts on that match as your first challenge?
Wow. I know I said Kenny was the best in the world, but if you had to challenge me for someone who could tie him, it would be Brian Danielson. So I'm not very surprised he's the #1 contender. That's a lot to think about, and I just won this damn thing. So I'm going to think about this tonight, and tomorrow morning I'll start thinking about it. Yeah.
Adam, can you think about maybe for a minute what it's going to be like to bring that belt home on Wednesday to Virginia?
That's going to be incredible. That's going to be wild. I'm very excited. It's one of the few shows for AEW I'm going to get to drive to. So I'm going to set this sucker in the passenger seat. I'll probably buckle her up. And we'll roll on into Norfolk. I'm very excited about it. Yeah.
Adam, you've been very open about your insecurity. You even say on your Twitter page you're an anxious millennial cowboy. Eddie Kingston just did an article about his depression and mental health issues. What does it feel like being in a place that allows you to be vulnerable as a pro wrestler in this business?
Sometimes wrestling can be behind the times, but I feel like AEW is able to keep up with the times because a lot of times we're just allowed to be ourselves and allowed to be honest. And the way the world, talks about their mental health has changed so much in the past, even just a couple of years. And when you let somebody go out there and just be themselves, sometimes that's what comes out, and it's an incredible thing that we can do that, and we don't have to worry about you know, like, oh, I don't look tough enough or whatever, because these are things that people go through in real life, and it's, I think it's better that even the world champion can be honest about it. So.
Thank you very much.
Is that a Rizap?
Anyone one more good one, anybody? Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a great night, and thank you very much, Hangman Adam Page.
Hey, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank